After a 2.5-hour meeting, the Union City Zoning Board of Adjustment approved a 4-story, 2-family dwelling at 123 20th Street, despite some opposition from neighbors.
And then one of the things I wanted to really look at is if it fit in height-wise. This is our property. As you can see, we have 4-story buildings, both on the west and on the east side, multiple 4-story buildings on both sides of the property. So this building really does fit in with the character of the neighborhood, and it's not larger than any other structure in the neighborhood. It actually complies 100% with our zoning ordinance. It's not a 3-family house, which is permitted. We're only providing a 2-family house. We're not approving this because of what else is there. We're not approving this because of what other buildings are there. We're approving this because this is permitted in the zone.
Yeah, and I opened by saying that we need to learn from mistakes. When we look at mistakes, we need to say, oh my goodness, perhaps this should be the example of why this construction project should not proceed, because it has a deleterious effect on the neighborhood.
And if you feel that way, and I understand you, and I might even share some of your opinions, this is not the venue to do it. This is an application that conforms with the house. The Union City went to a master plan review.
As members of the neighborhood, we come to meeting after meeting, and I'm sorry, it's hard to stay on top of things. I understand that there's an antiquated system of publishing stuff in a newspaper that no one reads. Publishing thing on websites that no one's going to go to, sending letters to people who live within spitting distance.
The sunlight that comes into my backyard and into my windows will be cut off if the building that you created here is built. That's where the sun comes in for me. It's like putting a shroud on my house. I'm not suggesting that the Godot's don't have a right to live here. But do I have to pay that great a price? It is a great price.
And you need to understand, we are people too. We want to continue with our lives too. Our lives have been interrupted since September at the dead hearing. And if you think that this doesn't take a toll on my health, you are wrong. I didn't think I should come tonight with papers from my doctors. You have no idea in what situation I am. I'm not literally homeless, but I feel homeless. That's what I feel.
In CO4, we can see that we have a very tall parapet in the front of the building. We'd like to eliminate that parapet first and foremost. In addition to that, we'd like to eliminate the bulkheads that bring the stairs up to the roof. We can do that by means of a roof patch, and we'll climb up a ladder in order to do that maintenance. Furthermore, as you can see on the topmost floor in the mezzanine area, the rear portion is really an empty void. It's an empty box there. I think it's going to really improve light and air for the neighborhood if we just drop that down completely and eliminate that. So the 7 feet that we have of empty void air is just going to be dropped down, which is going to reduce the height of our building in the rear yard, which is really going to improve the life of the neighborhood there.
Mrs. Godot was very eloquent about talking about her husband as an architect and as a member of the planning board. She did neglect to say, though, that he made a living as a developer, or the president of a development company, for about 20 years. But they do have about 16 addresses that you can look up on the internet, rapid fire over the last several years, including 2 in Miami. I would imagine they might spend winters down there. So, and I would say that they did go to the planning board. The reason they pulled back was because they did not have enough viable parking spaces for a 3-family house. It was not because of their graciousness.
Roll call on the motion to approve this application with the conditions and new revised plan requires. Roll call on the motion. Mr. Gullón?
Yes.
Ms. Gutierrez?
Yes.
Mr. Ortiz?
Yes.
Ms. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Sitinich?
Yes.
5 in favor, motion carries.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you and good night.
I'm John Heides with the Hudson County View, the eye of the community.